Hello, viewers and podcast listeners. My name is Miles. You're tuning in at Xraised, where knowledge meets inspiration in the intricate dance of industry evolution. In this episode, we'll be joined by someone who's redefining the landscape of safety and personal protection. He's trained by top agencies like Homeland Security, the Secret Service, ATF, and the FBI, and also authored the book Three Steps to Self-Defense Everyone Should Know. Boasting over 15 years of experience in industrial safety, risk management, and physical security, he's here to tell us how unique his company is and much more. So get ready, guys, as we all meet the owner of Safety Reloaded, Dr. Nicholas Eckert. Hello, Dr. Nick. Welcome to our humble community.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
No, thank you for being here today as we explore how Safety Reloaded stands out in the field of personal protection, the key lessons from your extensive training, and much, much more. So let's get started with your company, Safety Reloaded, which focuses on personal protection and training, as I mentioned earlier. Can you walk us through what you offer and how you differentiate your services from other personal protection instructors?
Of course. So we really like to meet our students where they are in their own personal protection journey. Not everybody's comfortable with the various different forms of protection, and not everyone feels comfortable understanding what situational awareness is or being able to even understand how to respond in emergency situations. We like to talk about, everyone knows fight or flight as your natural response, but a lot of people's first answer is freeze. And that's
Mm-hmm.
really where we want to focus and trying to understand what the response needs to be, get you
Uh-huh.
comfortable and knowledgeable that about the different options and where you can be personally, so that we get you from that freeze point all the way to responding. And that response could
Mm-hmm.
be, talking your way out, or recognizing the threat before you get there, or
Yeah.
just not engaging at all.
Uh-huh. Also, you're not just teaching physical techniques, but also empowering people with with a very proactive mindset.
Absolutely. We really think it really begins in how you carry yourself, how you see and interact with the world, and whether or not you're presenting yourself that might be an opportunity for an aggressor to do something bad to you.
Right.
It's really
And
about that mindset.
mindset. And while you're at it, what are some of the key lessons or principles you've carried over from your training with leading agencies into your work today?
That situational awareness, that really is key. When we look at it, most people don't understand what they're seeing out in the world, and they're not recognizing the pre threat indicators and the different things physiologically or emotionally that are happening out there that
Mm-hmm.
could impact them. Kind of the things we talk about there is, we've all been to a grocery store or something where we see people texting on their phone through the parking lot and nearly get hit by a car backing out because they're playing on their phone and they're not paying attention. If you put
Mm-hmm.
that little 8-inch glowing square down, you get this nice 200-degree field of view of the world, and you can start recognizing things that are happening around you that otherwise you'd be completely missing.
Yeah, well, that's a powerful approach. I agree with what you said that recognizing the potential threat is really critical. And it's all about avoiding conflict whenever possible, as much as possible.
Absolutely. We really do push that. Anytime you have to engage in a threat, that has got to be the absolute last thing. We
Mm-hmm.
push more on that, recognizing it, understanding it, and avoiding it as much as we possibly can early on. The earlier you can identify the potential problem, the earlier you can get out of the way, avoid it, de-escalate it, or just not get
Mm-hmm.
involved at all.
Makes sense. Now, what about your book, Dr. Nick? Three Steps to Self-Defense Everyone Should Know. What motivated you to write it, and how can readers apply these lessons in their everyday lives?
Well, we were looking at it. We do a lot of outreach training and free classes, trying to get out in the community and educate them. And it came to us that a lot of people just don't even know where to start their journey. They're afraid to take that first step, or they don't know where to start. So for me, it came down to what is it, the one, two, three different things that people need to know or understand before they engage in their
Mm-hmm.
next journey. If they want to start with just understanding situational awareness, what tools are available, maybe emergency first aid, what is it they need to know before they leave the house and before they decide whether or not to take more training, just as that baseline information for them. That's really what we wanted.
Well, what a great and thoughtful initiative, Dr. Nick. It's like giving people a roadmap to begin their journey in self defense with all the step by step procedure on how to avoid the threat. So, for someone who may feel intimidated by the idea of, learning self defense, what advice would you give to help them take that first step and embrace the mindset of personal protection?
Well, part of it's going to be understanding what's keeping you from trying to make that leap. A lot of people will immediately think, well, I don't want to use a firearm. That's okay.
Uh huh.
Firearms are not the only means of self-defense out there. We really do have a large array of different things, everything from pepper spray, tasers, pepper blasters, to even just using a flashlight as a self-defense tool, temporarily blinding the attacker. There are a
Mm-hmm.
lot of different things beyond just talking about firearms as a self-defense tool.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can understand what the threat is before you have to engage in it, that's even better.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding it, recognizing it, de-escalating or avoiding it, that is the key. Again, using
Yeah.
any kind of force has got to be the last resort.
Uh huh. Well, that's very reassuring. And thank you for the tip. I didn't even think about using a flashlight to boo away an attacker because it's not, and I like it that it's not just about physical confrontation, but about being aware and making smart decisions as well. So, looking ahead, what's next for you and Safety Reloaded, Dr. Nick? Are there any new projects or areas of focus that you're excited to explore?
Oh, absolutely. We're always expanding. So currently we've got two additional female instructors, and we're really focusing on building that women's network of understanding and support. We've got our own Facebook group just for women. We've got a lot of female oriented classes, and we've just released another book, and it's uh, non-lethal self-defense tools made simple. So it's what are those non-firearm options that are out there, and just kind of demystifying that. What are the things that we can talk about and explain to you, the pros and cons, and what works well with them and what doesn't, and just trying to get that education out, because again, we've seen it many times that a lot of people aren't comfortable with firearms, and we still think they should be protected. Just because you won't carry a gun doesn't mean you have to be disarmed either.
Uh huh. I like that phrase. And that sounds like an exciting direction. New instructors catering to women through women for them to be more comfortable at ease during the process. It's all about providing comprehensive and accessible training for everyone, Dr. Nick, I must say.
Absolutely. It's about getting the confidence and knowledge out there. If you're not
Mhm.
comfortable with the information, you don't know what the information is, then you don't know what you can and can't do out there.
Right. Uh-huh. I was going to say that. And before we let you go, we'd like you to know that we appreciate your time discussing the importance of a proactive mindset in personal protection, key lessons from top tier training like yours, and the practical steps readers can take to start their self defense journey through your book. So thank you so much for this insightful and very empowering conversation.
I appreciate the time, and I really look forward to working together more.
Yeah, me as well. It's a pleasure to have you, Dr. Nick. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, folks, if you need help to feel safer and more confident, reach out to Dr. Nick and his team through their website, safetyreloaded.org/n-us. And don't forget to grab his book on Amazon. So that's pretty much it for now. Thank you for tuning in. And don't forget to stay informed because it's the first step to staying safe. So I hope you catch us again next time for more insightful conversations like this one. This has been your host, Miles. Stay focused and inspired with X-Rays.